The emergency klaxons echoed through the crystalline halls of the Galactic Council's central command station, their shrill wails cutting through the usual diplomatic murmur like a plasma blade through silk. Ambassador Karim Hassan straightened, his uniform as he rushed toward the main assembly chamber, his boots clicking against the translucent floor. Beside him, his aide and translator Seelan Okafor matched his pace, her tablet already displaying the incoming threat assessments. "Sir, the preliminary reports are concerning," Seelan said, her voice tight with controlled urgency. "The Vorthak Imperium has deployed their entire battle fleet toward the Sol system. 3,000 ships, including their dreadnought Worldbreaker." Karim's jaw tightened. As Earth's primary representative to the Council, he'd spent the last 5 years building humanity's reputation from primitive newcomers to cautiously respected members. The Vorthak had always been aggressive, but this was beyond their usual territorial disputes. The assembly chamber buzzed with panicked chittering, warbling, and the various sounds of distressed alien species. The Council's 12-member races had gathered in emergency session, their representatives arranged in their species-specific environmental pods around the central speaking platform. The ethereal Zephyrians floated in their gas-filled spheres, while the rock-like granite lords sat motionless in their heated chambers. Chancellor Vextha, the insectoid leader of the Mantid Collective, called for order with a sharp click of her mandibles. "The session begins. Ambassador Warlord Grizzalak of the Vorthak Imperium will present their declaration." The massive holographic display shimmered to life, revealing the scarred, tusked face of Grizzalak. His red eyes gleamed with predatory satisfaction. "Honored council members," he growled, though the universal translator couldn't quite mask the mockery in his tone. "The Imperium formally declares its intent to claim the human homeworld of Earth. These soft pink creatures have polluted our galaxy long enough with their weakness." A collective gasp rose from the assembled representatives. Even by Vorthak standards, declaring war on a council member world was unprecedented. "The humans are defenseless," Grizelak continued, his tusks gleaming. "Their pathetic fleet of metal cans will provide amusing target practice for our warriors. We expect complete capitulation within one standard cycle." The transmission ended, leaving the chamber in stunned silence. Karim felt every alien eye turn toward him, waiting for humanity's response. Some expressions showed pity, others curiosity, and a few, he noticed with grim satisfaction, showed something that might have been concern. Seelan leaned close to whisper, "Sir, Earth Command is requesting instructions. Admiral Chen wants to know if we're evacuating civilian populations." Karim stood slowly, straightening to his full height. At 6 feet tall, he wasn't imposing by most galactic standards, but something in his posture made the chamber fall completely silent. "Honored Chancellor, esteemed representatives," he began, his voice carrying clearly through the universal translators. "I thank Warlord Grizzalak for his candid assessment of human capabilities." A few nervous clicks and warbles rippled through the audience. "However, I feel compelled to correct a fundamental misunderstanding about my species." Karim's smile was sharp as broken glass. "Humanity doesn't surrender." Chancellor Vextha's antennae twitched nervously. "Ambassador Hassan, surely you understand the mathematics? The Vorthak Imperium possesses superior numbers, superior technology." "Superior numbers, yes," Karim interrupted smoothly. "Superior technology. Well, that remains to be seen. You see, the Vorthak have made a critical error in their calculations. They've assumed that because humanity is relatively new to galactic society, we're inexperienced in warfare." Seelan activated her tablet, projecting a holographic display of human historical data. "In the past 3,000 years of recorded history, humanity has engaged in approximately 14,500 documented conflicts," she announced. "Our species has spent roughly 67% of our existence at war with ourselves." The chamber erupted in shocked exclamations. The peaceful Zephyrians' gas clouds turned a disturbed purple, while the granite lords' usually stoic expressions showed cracks of concern. "Furthermore," Karim continued, The Vorthak seem to believe that soft equals weak. This is incorrect. Human flesh is soft because we evolved not as apex predators but as persistence hunters. We don't need thick hides or natural weapons because we make our own. And when threatened, we don't just fight, we innovate. He gestured to Seelan, who brought up another display showing humanity's rapid technological advancement since joining the galactic community. In 5 short years, human scientists have reverse-engineered plasma weaponry, improved upon quantum communication systems, and developed new armor composites. Our pathetic fleet of metal cans includes vessels designed specifically for fighting opponents with superior firepower. The crystalline hierarch's representative, normally silent, spoke with a voice like wind chimes. But surely, Ambassador, you cannot hope to match their dreadnought. The Worldbreaker is the largest vessel in known space. Kareem's smile widened, and for the first time since the crisis began, he looked genuinely pleased. Ah, the Worldbreaker. Yes, we've been looking forward to meeting her. Seelan's fingers danced across her tablet. Earth Command reports that Admiral Chen sends his compliments, sir. Operation Goliath is ready for implementation. Operation Goliath? Chancellor Vextha asked. A human historical reference, Kareem explained. David and Goliath, a small shepherd boy defeating a giant warrior with nothing but a stone and a sling. The moral being that size isn't everything. The chamber's communication array crackled to life with an incoming transmission from Earth. Admiral Chen's weathered face appeared on the main display, his expression grim but determined. Ambassador Hassan, Council Representatives, he said, formally. The Vorthak fleet has entered the outer Sol system. Our long-range sensors confirm the presence of the Worldbreaker and approximately 3,000 escort vessels. And our response, Admiral? Kareem asked, though his tone suggested he already knew. The combined Earth Defense Fleet is moving to intercept. All civilian populations have been evacuated to the underground cities as a precaution, but sir? Chen's expression hardened. We're not running, humanity stands. The transmission ended, leaving the council chamber in contemplative silence. Finally, the eldest member, a ancient turtle-like being called First Speaker Toroth, spoke in a voice like grinding stone. Ambassador Hassan, on behalf of the council, we wish humanity fortune in the coming battle, though we fear for your species' survival. Kareem bowed respectfully. First Speaker, your concern honors us. But I believe you'll find that humanity is full of surprises. The Vorthak wanted a war? His eyes glittered with something that made several representatives unconsciously step back. They're about to learn why apex predators fear persistence hunters. As klaxons began sounding throughout the station, signaling the beginning of what would later be known as the Sol conflict, Kareem and Seelan made their way toward the observation deck. Through the massive viewport, they could see the distant flicker of FTL drives as ships began moving toward humanity's home system. Sir, Seelan asked quietly, do you really think we can win? Kareem watched the stars, his expression thoughtful. Seelan, the Vorthak think they understand warfare. They understand conquest, domination, superior firepower. But they don't understand what happens when you threaten a human's home. He turned to her, and his smile was sharp enough to cut steel. They're about to get a very expensive education. In the depths of space, the first shots of humanity's greatest test were about to be fired. The galaxy held its breath and watched, wondering if the young species that had spoken so boldly would live to see another dawn. The Vorthak were about to discover that when humans say they don't surrender, they mean it.